Welcome back to Everyone Loves Juju12. I'm your host, Juju, where we talk hoops, ladies, women's hoops of NCAA. Well, this week the AP 25 came out. Usually comes out on Monday, but I wanted to talk a little bit more in depth about the rankings and the poll. Now, I'm one to say in the first for the first 3 games or so, usually maybe even 4 games, I'm kind of like, hey, rankings don't mean so much because with the new era of transfer portal, you really cannot get a gauge on where teams actually are. And sometimes teams have players that are coming back from injury and such. And so you really can't get an idea of what teams have out there to really truly rank them properly, I guess. But it's okay. It happens every year. And sometimes teams evolve quicker than others. Some deteriorate faster than others. But I will say that this year, the rankings have, been really exciting. Only because my favorite team, USC Trojans, is in the top 3, and I'll take that. However, let's take a look at the rankings for the AP teams. I'll tell you what's been happening. But I've been seeing some really good, interesting games, but a lot of the games have been very kind of hard to really gauge because they play, mid-majors or lower division conferences. And but when that happens, that's a time for you to practice on your sets, being crisp, being sharp, bringing people in off the bench because you have a lead, so you can be able to see the combinations that you can mix in with the starters, I think. And also, in my opinion, you just get a chance to look at a lot of the freshmen that you have and give them some time and some minutes. So without further ado, let's talk about the AP 25. TC, Texas Christian University, earns best ranking in 16 years, and women's basketball poll as top 12 remain unchanged. I think this is a story too. Texas Christian really showed me a little something with the upset over North Carolina State. TCU entered the press top 25 women's basketball poll with its best rankings again in 16 years. The Horned Frogs joined rankings after topping, at the time, 13th ranked North Carolina State on Sunday. It was the team's first ranked win since 2021 and a victory over top 15 opponent in 6 seasons. TCU has its best spot in the poll since the school was also 19th in 2008. It means a lot as we build this program, says TCU coach Mark Campbell. Instead of getting ranked, we've come a long way. I've inherited a program that was 1-17 in the conference and at rock bottom. Last year's group laid an incredible foundation to springboard into this season. I'd have to agree. That game was exciting. If you haven't seen that game, go check it out. That game was a good watch, and I got to see Sedona Prince. I got to see Haley Van Lith become the playmaker that she's been trying to be for the last year. She had 10 assists. It was I mean, she looked great out there. 10 assists is huge. Taylor Bigby came over from USC, she was great. She came over as a transfer in the portal, left USC Trojans to play at TCU. That this team, has I think what it takes to crack at least up to the top 10 in rankings, and then they can work from there as bracketology comes along. Um, sometime in March, I think you're going to see something truly amazing from this team as long as they stay healthy. The Gamecocks. Okay, let's talk about them. Let's talk about the Gamecocks a little bit. The Gamecocks, to me, um, well, I'll just read this. The Gamecocks remain the unanimous number one team, receiving 31 first place votes from our national media. They routed their two opponents last week by an average of 36.5 points. South Carolina visits number 5 UCLA on Sunday. I think this is going to be their test. This is going to be their matchup. I think it seems like right now there's something going on in the Gamecock camp. From the articles and the presser interviews with Dawn, I think you know, I think some of the players might be a little bit in their heads, but then there's a lot of good strong play from some players as well. I think Malaysia Fawali is doing amazing. She's like shooting 50% from the field. Still making those sophomore freshman mistakes, but more importantly, I think she plays like a starter. But Tessa Johnson's ankle being out may kind of prevent her from actually taking a starting spot or maybe playing a starting spot. And whose spot I think she could take is Bree Hall's. But I also think we ought to take a look at Raven Johnson's numbers. Raven had a good 9 boards in the last game, but and I think in the Michigan game but she scored 0. She's not really close to her average in any of the categories. But Raven is one of the leaders. Raven is one of the mainstays that it's still early. Whatever conversations she may need to have with Coach Staley or herself, I think Raymond will be fine. However, they played this Wednesday, and I would take a chance to see what it looks like with Malaysia starting for Bree Hall and having that type of guard lineup on Wednesday. But come Sunday, when they travel to UCLA, I think the UCLA Bruins have a chance at an upset based upon Lauren Betts, Tamia Gardner, Janiyah Barker alone, Dugalich as well. I think that's how I pronounce her name. Forgive me if I mispronounced it. I think these players are key to, and Kiki just coming back from long illness. I think these players are key to making a run towards an upset. Number 2, UConn. Number 3, USC. And number 4, Texas follow South Carolina. Number 6, Notre Dame heads west to play the Lady Trojans in a top 10 clash on Saturday. LSU, Ohio State. And let's see. LSU and Ohio State. I know for sure Ohio State is number 8. And also, I want to say something about Oklahoma. Oklahoma and Kansas State round out the top 10. I think they got this right. 2 UConn, 3 USC, 4 Texas, 6 Notre Dame, LSU 7, Ohio State with Audie Crooks 8, Oklahoma Reagan Bears, and Kansas State at Yoke all ran out the top 10. I think that's safe to say. That looks fair. Stanford had cracked the top 25, but they fell out of the ranking after losing to Indiana. And I remember they kind of swapped. Indiana was in the rankings, fell out when Stanford had not beat them, but had beat I think it was Indiana had lost to an opponent that allowed Stanford and Oregon to slip into the top 25. So I think that West Virginia is a team that is kind of a sleeper to me. I remember West Virginia last year, and when it mattered in March, They were playing really good ball, scrappy ball movement, fast, quick. Not a lot of height there, but they moved up to number 13 for its highest ranking since 2018, when the Mountaineers were 12th. After a win over Texas A&M, the Mountaineers have won 32 straight conference home games, dating to the 2019 season. So I think West Virginia is feeling pretty good because they're winning most of their home games, and they got a winning streak going on. So that's cool. They could potentially face Texas in the Gulf Coast Showcase over Thanksgiving this weekend. Um, says NC State had a challenging start to its season, playing both number one South Carolina and TCU on the road. The Wolfpack, who reached the Final Four last season, fell to number 20. That is very significant because they were ranked way higher than this. And to drop to 20 in the poll after a loss to TCU, Coach Westmore's squad could face LSU in the Bahamas during the Thanksgiving weekend. So they could face another loss. NC State, yeah, so they could NC State, they got a tough schedule. It could pay off for them in the long run to face a tough schedule early. So they know what to work on and what the team needs to build on. So let's keep an eye on NC State. UConn coach Gino Ariama will have his first chance to become the all-time wins leader on Wednesday when the Huskies host Fairleigh Dickinson. UConn is bringing back many of his alumni for the game. So let's see who comes out from the old UConn alumni. And they have very notable players from UConn. So it'll be really exciting to have them come out and celebrate with Gino. He'll have 1,002. He has 1,216 victories in his Hall of Fame career, and he's tied with retired Stanford coach Tara Vanderveer, who leads the all-time winning as NCAA coaches. So this is exciting for him. This is something that he can celebrate with his current and his past players. They are slated to win that game, so I imagine that is an exciting moment that's going to be taking place this weekend as well. But also this weekend, all eyes are on Los Angeles. Los Angeles, SoCal. Number 6 Notre Dame will be at number 3 USC Trojan on Saturday, and number 1 South Carolina will be at the Poly Pavilion at UCLA on Sunday. All 4 teams have looked solid in the win so far, combining for 16-0 record. All of them are undefeated and have played at least 4 games. Will have at least played 4 games. So, with that being said, I have to say that this weekend is going to be really, really exciting to see. But if you've just joined me, like, subscribe, comment. I'm going to read your comments, and I want to hear what you guys think about the rankings. Hey, everybody, I didn't see. Hey, Donovan, what's going on? I think TCU got a lot of really good transfers on the guard position in HVL. Man, tell me about it. See, I couldn't remember the other name, Donovan. So, Donovan Hunter. Is that who Hunter is a player? Okay, I think so too. And so, Donald Prince, that looked crazy. Hey, Rasheen. What do you think? What do I think about Florida? I think Florida's nice. They aren't ranked, but they might be a good team in a year or two. Oh, definitely. I'm really liking Miaria O'Neal. Before she suffered that concussion. That was she had like 18 points, and she's a starter. So yeah, Florida. Keep an eye on Florida, Rasheen. I do agree with looking at some of the teams that aren't ranked right now, but are playing some good basketball. That are even I was looking at Kentucky, Louisville. I thought that was an exciting game. They were playing up to game speed. You know what I mean? They were playing each other. They looked like a team that was already in conference, So yeah, I agree. Oklahoma has surpassed my expectations because Bears looks really good. I've been hearing about that too. I've been hearing Bears is looking, mighty good over there at in Oklahoma. Like she slimmed down, trim. running up and down the court, happier. So, I think I'm gonna take a look at an Oklahoma game in a minute. Once I close this out. But yeah, I have to agree. Oh, it's going to be great basketball this weekend. I see. It's going to be great basketball. We need it. All of these blowouts and things like that. I do enjoy watching teams get, progress and getting to see their bench and all that. But you know, I'm ready for some basketball. Basketball, like so this weekend. I'm hoping Notre Dame and USC put on, and definitely Carolina, UCLA. Um, and then, like I said, we're going for his 1,217th win to be the all-time record winning record holder. So the rankings do look good. I agree. The rankings are actually correct. They're actually moving. They're actually moving. You're right, towards that direction of like aligning and getting people in the position where they should be. Because some people, I was thinking, you're a little bit too high. Duke dropped off. I mean, like Duke got snatched down. Maryland went up like whoop, like seven places. Hey, Miss D. Yeah, I just came on here. I actually thought that I was I actually thought that I was doing a recording, but when I came back, I was looking at the screen that I was trying to share, and it probably didn't. I was just reading from it, y'all. I'm telling you all the behind the scenes stuff. And then I look up and I'm like, comments. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, thank you guys for joining. Like and like the button, and if you have any more comments, that'd be great. Cause I've just been looking at the AP. I've been looking at articles, listening to Dawn speak about her team. She didn't look too happy the other night. She put her head down. She was just like, "Oh my goodness." So some of the articles that she, just talking about her team and where they're at, and some of the conversations she's had to have, how Malaysia's playing. I mean, people are talking, don't are trying to wonder like, why didn't she start? What did she start? All this craziness. And it's like, let Dawn do Dawn things. She knows what she's doing. But she's also a realist of where they are or where they aren't. And she knows that they're gonna have to get them. She's gonna have to get them to where they need to be. I think low key UCLA and Notre Dame can pull the upsets. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I can understand why you think UCLA could pull an upset at this moment. Hey MJ, um, but Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame um looks great. I think they are poised for an upset, but I think because I've looked at uh I know that Juju hasn't even played up to her full potential, but I'm looking at some of the other players on the court. They have more of a more depth, and their defense is they got solid defense. They have schemes to their defense, and they get offense from their defense. And so it might get a little helter skelter trying to slow Hidalgo and Miles down. But when it comes to the length and our height, oh no, they're gonna be smothered on that court. I'll be there, so I'll let you know how it goes, when I'm there. But it's gonna be an exciting weekend in Los Angeles. Saturday first with USC and Notre Dame, and Sunday with UCLA and South Carolina. I hope you East Coast people don't come out here trying to start no mess with us. Start some. Don't try to come in here and steal a win and leave and use a toothpick to clean up the meat out your teeth. Don't do that. So also the docu series for Juju Watkins on the rise. Docu series starts before the game. I think 2 episodes come on NBC, and then the next 3 through 6 the following day will be on Peacock, but all of it will land on Peacock if you miss it and want to catch it and learn more about this phenomenal player that I think she is. I do know I feel like Juju Watkins was doing Juju walking things besides the 9 turnovers, but she cleaned those turnovers up. I knew that was just you know, uh, a one-time thing coming out the gate, but and with pretty good defensive team. It was ranked 12th last year with Ole Miss. Donovan said the reason I think they can get the upset is Kate Koval and Lyle Two King are hard matchup because my freshie Koval looks pretty good. Koval looks great. Koval looks pretty good for a freshman, but with a Kiki Ariafen, Rhea Marshall, Viv Awakuchu, who's a freshman, Clarice Akuwafu of USC, are the bigs. And low key, Kennedy gets in there. Kennedy is no joke. Kennedy Smith, that freshman. He's talking about Notre Dame upset. Notre Dame could upset. Donovan feels Notre Dame could upset USC Trojans, and UCLA could catch South Carolina slipping. And I just feel like the South Carolina thing is because there's chemistry, there's something a little off right now with South Carolina, and that's why. And also UCLA has a good team. They will match up really well against South Carolina. South Carolina is going to have to come out playing South Carolina ball, whatever that looks like, Don Staley ball. And I mean, crisp passes, discipline, acting like you want to be there, showing some effort, and have fun. When they have fun, they play much better. So, if they're excited to be down at Pauley Pavilion, then and she has the right combinations, it should be fine. Yeah. So any team right now, I think in the top 10, if they play each other at this moment right now, could be upset. So Donovan feels that, Notre Dame with, I believe, Hannah, Olivia, Kate Koval, and Leah Till King are a hot matchup. But I'm not sure why it's a hard matchup against us, but we'll see against USC. Rasheen said UCLA has a great team, but this season they don't look that hungry to me. I see a close game with South Carolina with the win. Oh, okay. I don't see the not hungry thing, but it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. I think Corey Close is a better coach than you guys really realize, and I think that Corey understands the gravity of what this could be for her program. And there's players that played against South Carolina last year while they were on other teams. Anybody that can get an upset of South Carolina on their resume could be a boost for their program and just even for their confidence. It's no secret that South Carolina looks beatable. It's just who could do it. Who is the teams that they could give them a run, and I think this is one of the teams. UCLA can make a statement with this game for sure. Yeah, they definitely can make a statement, and that's what you're going for. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're going for. You want something like this to be, you need a win like this so that if you're trying to make it to, get odds for the Final Four or odds to make it to the championship, this is going to weigh heavily that you beat the number one team in the nation. So it's a good pick for Corey Close to have gotten this on her schedule, and I think it's good for the game. I think it's really good for the game. Really good to see powerhouse schools like this, schools that are no stranger to Elite Eights and Final Fours and things, to go up against each other. I can't remember the last time that UCLA has been to the Final Four. I mean, I'm sure they've probably gone Elite Eight, and I don't want to take it back to when it was AIW with Ed Myers when he won, but I know that I've watched him, since I was in college down in LA. So, and I've seen a lot of great teams, a lot of great players, but it was Georgia, Tennessee at the time, maybe North Carolina, Auburn, Texas, you know, where like the team, back in the day, even Long Beach was in there. So yeah, that's all. I just was coming in to go over the top 25 teams. I did see a lot of movement. Matchup makes fights. Oh, okay. MJ said matchups make fights. Number 5, UCLA. Number 8, Iowa State. Number 14, Duke. You sure Duke is 14? Because they look like they dropped to 20. TCU just cracked, as I mentioned earlier, the top 25 first time in 16 years, and they look great. I don't care what anybody says. They are going to be in the top 10. Are ranked 4 games that people are looking for possible upsets of SC, right? No, no, I do not see Duke being on that. MJ, you can take Duke off. I do not see Duke as being an upset. I think it's going to be a challenge with them. Iowa State. I think TCU would give them a run. I think UCLA would give them a run. Only reason because after they play UCLA, I think their next game is Iowa State. Many questions is can Reyes stay out of foul trouble and score against a big because it's been questionable these couple past years. So Kova, listen, Kiki and it's a committee thing. Kiki and Rhea are both seniors. You're not gonna let this freshman do this. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna let this freshman do that. Um, and then number 5, UCLA. Yes, yes, yeah. Those are the teams except for Duke, MJ. I'll throw one more. MJ. I'll throw Texas in there, or any of those teams. I think the Gamecocks could lose like 4 games this season, which isn't bad. You could still be in the number because UConn could lose some games. Um, USC could lose some games, and Texas could lose some games. The guard play will be the key for UCLA versus South Carolina. Betts will get hers. Nah, nah, nah. I don't think you guys have a big to stop Lauren Betts. Not you guys, but I don't think South Carolina has what can really, really stop Betts. It would have to be a combination of Betts and their bigs. But if UCLA guards don't show up, it's a wrap. Yeah, their guards, let's say, because it would probably be Kiki and Ledger Walker and Tamia Gardner, Dukeledge, and Lauren Betts. That's what I think the starting 5 would be. Look it up. Texas looks good so far. Big, strong team overall. However, they're slow. Texas gameplay is very slow outside of their 2 guards. So outside of you're thinking outside of Madison and Rory. Yes and no. I think what I would do is I would push the ball the way that and transition the way that they do. But I also on defense I would play a zone if I were Texas and force South Carolina to shoot from the outside. South Carolina vulnerabilities right now is Ravens slow start. Yeah, she's getting a slow start right now. You're absolutely right. No Tessa and Fagan starting slow. Yep. Yep. Well, and I think I would throw in Bree. Like she's steady. Bree is steady. Like don't mess with her kind of thing. But I'm trying to find a way that I can get Malaysia in the starting lineup. That's why I'm saying that. But I wouldn't do that because Malaysia brings offense off the bench, instant offense, points. So we really need Tessa back. MJ Lever, I agree, but a majority of their scoring comes from their bigs like Barker, Duke, yep, Gardner, and Betts. So we can see SC stop all of them. That's what I'm saying, Donovan. That's what I'm saying. South Carolina's Edwards, Dowda, and Kids are doing well to start the season. Yes, they are. But this is gonna be. This is like, every time when it comes to Joyce, um, being a freshman, you're gonna go up when you are playing against more veterans, forwards. You're gonna get out vetted a lot of times, and it's gonna be to the point where you become a little bit of a liability, and they don't really have anybody experienced other than Chloe, who's been in the heat of the battle, how to deal with teams where players are like fourth and fifth years, seniors. And so Donovan, MJ, since there's only one ball on the court, and each of them would have to score over 50% field goal, that would be the key. However, okay, okay, got it. You got to look a little closer. I think that you probably really looking at South Carolina and speaking on what you know about them. I think you should go back and watch their last 4 games highlights, and then weigh in on it, with an unbiased approach. That's taking into account UCLA can stop SC as a whole. I think they can. Who can score better? Who plays better defense? And who plays better defense? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We're definitely. I think UCLA's height across the board is key. Is a key to all of this. From the point guard to the center, even off the bench, they're kind of like, they remind me of Carolina. They took a page out of Carolina's book where they can go to the bench, bring in 3, 4, 5 players, and that's how UCLA looked to me. I've watched 3 of UCLA's games, and Betts and Gardner are the head of the snake. Cut it off. Who's going to cut it off? Who's going to stop them? I saw Janai Barker the other night going off. Kiki came in. She just came off of being sick, but she was like a floor leader, strong floor leader. They got Hawkins. She doesn't even start. I think Hawkins or Duke. I think Duke starts. Right, Donna? MJ, this is why we watch, because both teams offensively and defensively are on issue for each other. Yeah, I agree, Donna. Barker's the emotional leader, and she can go either way. The last time she played versus she played okay, but she'll need to go off to make it a game. I don't think this is all on Janiyah. Janiyah is just gonna be like icing to this cake. She comes up, she doesn't even start. She's gonna be the spark that comes in. So, probably when she played SC, I'm gathering that she may have been a starter, playing a lot of minutes. But this time, all the weight of playing SC is not even close to being on her. So that, I think that makes a difference here with UCLA, with you playing for UCLA. She doesn't have to do it all. Thank goodness. They got help. That's what I'm loving about a lot of these teams. It's like 1, 2, 3. People got 1, 2, 3, 4 deep, like, and bench. So because of that, it's gonna make a team like TCU unranked upset a team like North Carolina State that was in the Final Four last year. You're gonna see stuff like that. I'm just telling you what I saw with UCLA. So for this season, so far this season, they haven't been pressed as far as matchups go this season. No, neither has SC. Had a scare with Michigan in their first game, and I didn't really like that. I didn't really like that last game I watched of Carolina. Like, it was like third quarter was like, what are you doing? It's like 5 points on them, for a long time. I had never seen that. I was like, they dipped heavily. TCU may not have been an upset though. NC State may have been overranked. I think the only other spot for NC State could have been that they're not ranked because they've already been exposed with the higher ranking they had, and I think where they landed, I wouldn't do that to them. I wouldn't knock them down at the time further than they were, because that would just take them right off the board because everybody else deserved to be where they were. So Donovan says, so UCLA's last starting lineup was Betts, Duquelet, Gardner, Hawkes, and that's the starting lineup. So yeah, Kiki didn't start. You're right, Kiki didn't start, Donovan. Hawkes and Arnasalo. Yeah, Kiki didn't start, but I did see her in the game, so she didn't start. So even with Kiki coming off the bench, that's kind of cool right there because you come in with Janiyah Barker. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like they got a good starting five and they got a bench. The Lady Wolfpack lost a few key bigs and they're struggling to get inside scoring outside of fast breaks. Yeah, but that doesn't take away the way TCU look. TCU look good. They look good. Sedona Prince, if she wants to come out in the draft, I gotta redo my draft board. I gotta redo my draft board with Sedona. I'm keeping an eye on Yoka Lee, and I'm gonna keep an eye on Harmony Turner. Donovan, how does UCLA line up with Raven, Lake Hits, Fagan, and Breezy? Oh, first of all, have you seen Raven's numbers? MJ, have you seen her numbers right now? Breezy, Lay is the best, playing the best in kits right now. Fagan, no, too slow. Breezy, she's average. Donovan, then you have to account for Pow Tessa, when she comes back. Hopefully Tessa will be back. Maddie, she's kind of a freshman. I don't know if she would play if Tessa comes back. And Adele. Well, I hope they come in because they're going to need it. Oh, and Edwards is balling out, right? It's a freshman. They outsize it. MJ Lover, they outsize it. And this is true, Donovan. MJ, I seen him in person, MJ. They outsize the entire starting lineup. 6'7", 6'4", 6'3", 6'1", 5'11". And yeah. yeah. I seen it in person, Donovan. And I just think they're better than last year. They better, and there's no reason for them to roll over or be scared. I mean, bringing in Tamia, I think Tamia is like, she's aggressive. She's not going to settle. She's going to pull. I've seen her shoot this 35-footer at the top of the key, swish. They run good. I even seen 6-7 bets going down the middle. They run good. They run up and down that court because when we played them last year, minus Tamia Gardner, Janiyah Barker, they was like, it was a track meet. What up, Louis? What up? I'm just on here. I just came on just to lay something down. I wanted to talk about the AP 25 rankings. I thought I was recording, but I went live. And I got to see you guys for the day. I know we're missing in action, so she'll be back pretty soon. And she'll be right back, right back in the mix with you guys. Just got to get the lab set up, reset up. But she'll be back, and Wednesday we're gonna get to see what's happening with the Gamecocks tomorrow prior to Sunday, and I think Notre Dame. MJ said, I'm not saying SC can't lose to UCLA, but I don't think people are looking at UCLA's weaknesses. What are they? What's the weakness? You said they were slow? Avery Wade, MJ Lover, what are you instigating? Bree Wayne, there's a discussion about UCLA upsetting SC in a few weeks. Tamia is slow footed. Yes, she can shoot, but slow foot. Nah, she don't have to. Nah, you need to go back, Bree Wayne. You need to go back and watch. She don't have to. She don't have to be fast. The way that they move the ball and they spread the floor, and they're very fundamental. And they whip the ball around, and everybody touches the ball clean. It's just clean. I brought up the speed factor, but they brought up the overall height. They have a similar lineup to run with. That's why they got Gardner and Barker. They got bigs that can run with you. I think so. I think so, Donovan. It could happen, and that's okay. End goal is a natty. Now that is a reasonable. That's what I was saying. There's a chance that Carolina could lose. Look, they play. Carolina has scheduled 7 out of 8 of the top 8 teams, which means except for us, right? 7 of the 8, and I applaud them for that. As long as they don't lose outside of those 8 that of who they're playing, um, they can win. But if they start dropping if they mishap against a team who's not in the top 10, top 8, they need to get to the drawing board real quick. She's the only consistent shooter on UCLA, and I ain't worried about that. Okay, Wayne, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. Not just Tamia. Donovan, I hear you. So how much does UCLA beat SC by? Good question. I saw a recent vid of Kiki with one-handed dunk. She just made it. Are you talking about Kiki Ariafen? Yeah, she can dunk. Ray can dunk too. Ray can dunk too. I don't know if they're gonna do it this year. If they get could they do this hedge out on defense? And if they catch one, they're pretty much gone to the other end. They need to go ahead and put it down. It's not about. I don't think anybody has actually played anyone right now, Bree Wayne. But you can tell from who they're playing that and how they're playing that they're a lot more organized and crisp and efficient with their play than South Carolina has been in the last couple of games, and they haven't been close to losing the way Carolina did with an unranked team. It just looks like Carolina could beat themselves. It's like, actually, I think actually think they match up good with South Carolina. Not much, but both teams have something to prove. It's about 7 points in either direction. Correct. I just want it on record so we can talk about it after. I'll be here, win or lose. Right on. We the first ranked team. UCLA gonna meet. No one's prepared them for SC. Okay. Yeah, you would be organized against Arkansas. They awful finished last in SEC. How is the rookie, the big girl, I forget her name, doing on USC? She looked good the first game. The rookie? Big girl. On South Carolina, Louis? The rookie? You guys, who's the rookie big on South Carolina? Joyce Edwards? That a big? That's a post. She looked good. I mean, she looks like a freshman, but a little bit better, than a freshman. Their bigs will definitely be a problem for us, but they ain't blowing us up. They might win by 2 points if they play perfect basketball. Okay. Right. I feel you. I don't think anybody's blowing anybody out unless they just can't get it together. Damn, not that USC. You talking about big. You talking about Kennedy? Kennedy's a wing. She's about 6'1". And then Kiki Ariafen is a power forward. And then Viv Akawaku, she's a freshman. She's like a Rhea Marshall position. She looks good. I like her. That's the freshman from Trojans. She looks good. She's getting some time in there. Edward plays 3 positions already. Yes. That one, Kennedy. Yes. I love Kennedy Smith. Oh my God, I love Kennedy Smith. She does not play like a freshman. She's so perfect for this team. Her and Juju are so good together. After going at it in their divisions in high school, Kennedy can play defense. She can shoot 3. She can shoot the midi. She sprints the court. She plays. She gets rebounds. She gets steals. Like, she shoots a 3. Like, Kennedy's good. Kennedy Smith is good. UCLA is the biggest competition for SoCal right now. They outmatch them in every single position except Juju. I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that at all. They don't outmatch us at every position. Every position, no. But what it is a crosstown rivalry. So it's always going to be you know, a great matchup between us. It's always going to be a great matchup. But we handled them 2 out of 3 times last year, double overtime on one of them, and Juju ain't even playing up to her speed. But I like Kelly Heckle, the freshman that comes in there, like Avery House. She's like 5'10", 5'11". She's a freshman. Kenny Smith, the freshman. We finally got a nice power forward in Kiki getting cleaning up and getting those boards back up. And we got some more freshmen. We haven't even, I mean, Malia Samuels comes in, Pet Bull, um, and plays a point. And I haven't even said TiVo. We kind of figure out what we're supposed to do with TiVo. And TiVo has a nice 3. Um, Even if she can't bring it up, Drew can bring it up and start the offense. But the way they spread the floor and the way that they press, and they like to uh, they play a pro style ball. They play a pro style ball. They don't have to sit up, set up, do that. No, they create offense from their defense. We're pressing full court, 3/4 court, half court. They do traps. They get out and run and transition off a rebound, miss shots. Like they can do it all. They know how to play. They know how to score off when you put a zone against them. Um, they don't get caught up in screens. Like they just look better. I'm just so proud of them. They just need to and I noticed that a lot of their plays are dogs. So a lot of those little freshmen are dogs. I was worried about it. I was like, but when I look back at the Ole Miss game, I was like, oh, okay. Okay. So I seen her go through the whole bench, even down to Ryan Forrester is a freshman. She went all the way down to Brooklyn Shambles. These players are like from out of state, but in their state, they're like Gatorade players of the year. They've been champions. So no matter who they pull out the bench, they're not afraid to come in and do their thing. And there's no scouting report really on them, for UCLA. And they're all about 5'10" above. UCLA has height advantage over USC too. What is SoCal going to do to combat that? I just told you they don't. They don't. They only talk. The tallest person is Betts at 6'7". I think we go 6'6", 6'4", 6'3", 6'1", 6 feet, 5'10", 5'11", on down. Juju 6'2". I think I don't only person I think we don't have is a 6'7" player. I double check though. You can double check too. And we handled them before. We didn't have a 6'7" person against them last year. No, actually not MJ. The 2 top scorers are Kiki and Juju. Juju's a guard and Kiki's a power forward. And then after that comes is it Kennedy? Kennedy might be the third. I think she's the third and she's a small forward. So I don't know where that came from, that it comes from. Is that is a small forward a front court? So you got Kennedy, Kiki, and Juju, right? So you got a guard, you got a power forward, and I think Kennedy she probably is a guard forward. There are 3 guards in the top 4. 3 guards in the top 4 scoring for SoCal. That's cool. And how tall are they? And you also got you also have Kiki. They have her as a guard and Heckle as a guard. Yeah. Yep. It's not a problem. Same thing with Notre Dame. They got Koval, we got Kiki. They got Citron. We got Kennedy. Echoes my height. Okay, 5'9". Smith is a that's what I'm saying, Bree Wayne. She's a small forward. I don't know why they keep saying guard. I don't know either. I mean, they could say she's 6'1". Exactly, Bree Wayne. Exactly, Kennedy. I mean, Kennedy's 6'1". So what? But that's what I'm saying. She's a small forward, but she plays so big. Like she's a wing, if you want to call that a guard. But it also could be a small forward. I'd say small forward that can stretch out to the guard spot and can bring the ball up and can guard guards. So that kind of makes her like a unicorn there. She's 6'1". So if you're going to go by position by height and all that, then Juju needs to be a small forward. She's 6'2". With shoes on, probably 6'3". Nah, she looks and plays like a 6'2", 6'3". That's the crazy part. That's the great part, I should say. I'm gonna say crazy. That's the good part. Let's see their roster. Okay, so yeah, that's what I thought. Clarice Akuafu, she's a senior. She's 6'6". And then our shortest is Malia, but you know Malia's a dog. Rhea Marshall 6'4". Kiki Arafin 6'3". Viv Akawatu is 6'3". Kennedy Smith is 6'1". Talia is 5'11". Juju 6'2". Laura Williams, she's out for the season, the injury. And then the guards are 5'9". Aaliyah Gales, Kaylee Heckle, Avery Hollis, 6 feet. I thought she was 5'10" or 5'11". That's why they have her out on that wing. I like that. And then Malia is the shortest at 5'6". That's bomb. They tall. They tall. No, Clarissa plays. Clarissa plays Greenway. She was just in the game. Clarissa plays, and Clarissa played a lot last year because Ray had caught COVID. If when Ray gets in foul trouble, she had to come in a lot for us last year. Nah, she doesn't barely play, you guys. I watched them last year, and I watched them this year. She gets in there to give Ray a martial arrest, and she was in there in some key moments with Juju. At least she even caught the ball better and put it back up. Can't really shoot free throws that well. Really working hard on catching it and putting it back up, but she gets herself in a little foul trouble too. But she plays behind. She plays. She's not. She played more than Sakima plays. Let's just picture that. She played more than Sakima. I can't say Tack because Tack just is going. You know, she has minute restrictions. So if need be, if Rhea gets in trouble, we'll pull Clarice and we'll pull Viv, and just keep throwing stuff to the wall. If you can't stop Bets, you stop everybody else. But I don't even think Bets. We double team her and then we pop out. We hedge on her. We double team her. She hasn't been a factor when we played UCLA. Sometimes teams in conference know each other very well and have played because they play against each other a lot. So when that happens, you already kind of seen them, you played them in intense matchups that have gone to the wire with one another. You kind of like know their tendencies, and they don't have like Christopher Osborne anymore. I'm trying to think who left. There's some players that we haven't seen, but we might have seen them in a different capacity. Oh, I already know. That is a more intriguing matchup. No, I think the UCLA Gamecocks is more intriguing for UCLA because it's more at stake there. But our matchup is always good with UCLA just because it's a rival game. It's always fun. It's always like a gotcha moment. Like when we beat them at home for our second game, UCLA was ranked number 2 behind South Carolina, and UCLA was undefeated, and we were ranked like 15th and beat them. So, and then we had to play them to get to the Pac-12 championship, which we knocked off Stanford, and we beat them double overtime. Yeah, double overtime. But it's a great matchup every time. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm gonna lose, if we're gonna lose to anybody, it's gonna be them. Just on on GP alone. But that's a sore spot to take to any Trojan to lose to UCLA. I mean, they deep with it. They don't even want to wear each other's colors for fun. Is Kiki Rice doing well? She just got back. She didn't score the last game. This is her first game. She couldn't even play since Paris. She'd been sick. But when I saw her, I was like, okay, she's her presence on the floor is definitely leadership. Definitely moving the ball around, definitely doing other things, but she wasn't herself yet. But she didn't look bad. Undefeated streak is always news, but think about this: UCLA beating SC alone puts a target on UCLA's back. How do they hold up? Right. Hey, that's the key, right? But I think UCLA plays UConn, so maybe UConn would snatch it from them. And then I'm hoping that if that would occur and they actually put UCLA number 1, I don't know how that would go. Like, can they go from 5th just because you beat South Carolina? Is that going to jump you up to number 1? I don't think so. But I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they rank it. But I think UCLA going to play UConn, and then we got to play UConn. So there's going to be some movement. Or I forgot about Swatkins too. No, don't forget about Swatkins. I ain't forgot about her. Like I said, they have on paper, but you can't say when you saw them play last game something they need to get it together. That's all. Something they need to go through whatever they're going through and start playing their ball and having fun. So I think I'm gonna see Swatkins like go off on Sunday, like just go off. Like this will be your moment to break out and just dominate. Like that's what she's gonna have to do down there, dominate down there in the paint. And that's why that would be a good battle to see, I think. So what do people think it usually goes into SC and beats them? That would have them jump force, but I don't know. I don't know about that. I've only read that that it's a challenge and that UCLA could come out on the other end, but I never heard them. I haven't heard anything or read anything that would jump them up that many positions. That would be like, okay, so you're gonna just jump right over UConn, jump right over USC and Texas. That's too many jumps. How's South Carolina's 3-point shooting going? Bree and all them. How's their 3-point shooting, guys? Can you see the percentage as a team? That's a good question. I was gonna attempt to answer it, but I know Papa and Leia doing good. UCLA versus South Carolina, November 24th, Sunday. They're playing at Poly Pavilion in Los Angeles at UCLA. Like I mentioned, Los Angeles is the place to be this weekend with USC and Notre Dame at the Galen Center. And UCLA hosts the Gamecocks at Poly Pavilion on Sunday. I like that they're playing on the road too a lot, pre-conference play. I agree, MJ. I think that's good. Would you say ooh we too, Louis? And that's another thing. They're playing away. They're on the road. They're at Poly. They're, you know what I'm saying? Like the other teams at home. Like I remember years ago, Tennessee coming in and beating Poly at home. Pow 44%, Tessa 50, Lay 33. I thought Lay was higher than that. Breezy 38. Yeah, the game in Cali, Poly Pavilion, UCLA. Absolutely, this Sunday. There you go. Raven hasn't made it 3 yet. Nope. Dada, Chloe are 20% each. And Chloe's the leading scorer right now, right? I think Chloe's the leading scorer. They say. So look, yeah, Kids is 17 for 10 on the season. Kids is 17. 10. Oh, that's what she's a double with 10 rebounds, 17 points. Yeah, Chloe's leading. She's definitely the leader right now. I don't know if they can win with Chloe Kids. I don't think South Carolina Gamecocks and Chloe Kids. I don't necessarily look at them like that, but that's the way it's looking right now. And I mean, kudos to Chloe, you know, coming in prepared and just really looking solid out there. Hi, Political Lil. You late to the party. Political Lil, I call myself setting up a recording and push the live. Like, man, I was trying to go over the AP standings and stuff like that. I had it all set up. I thought I was presenting screen and didn't finish clicking it all, but it's all good. And then I looked up when I came back and boom, people are here to talk. And we started just talking about, you know, basically the news right now is TCU having a great game, upsetting North Carolina State, jumping into the rankings at 19. I'm liking what I'm seeing HVL and Sedona Prince do over there. And they just have an overall, you know, good squad. They got a great big in Sedona Prince. And then this weekend, Los Angeles with UCLA matching up with playing the Gamecocks at UCLA and Notre Dame coming to USC. So Louis said, okay, that's not bad as long as they're actually shooting threes at a clip, right? MJ said Swatkins, Fagan, Leia are averaging 1 block per game. It was meant to be, Juju. I know. And I'm not able to stay for both. So I got to just see one and to get back. SC has 5 players shooting over 50% from the field right now. Who are they? You're talking about the Gamecocks, right? TCU was balling, looked good and happy. Oh man, didn't she look happy? She had 10 assists. HVL. I just found a newfound like that kid that I liked when I saw at Louisville. I'm back on the HVL tip now. I'm like, oh, she was like, you could tell when she fell into her coach's arms. And he said, this is the first time in your career you've had 10 assists. And she's like, yeah. And it was just, I felt like tears to come to my eyes too. I was like, oh, HVL. She looked like a playmaker. It looked like she needed a whole year. Sometimes you throw away the baby with the bathwater when it comes to somebody and they just need a year to adjust. to playing this new position. Oh yeah, Sedona is a problem with MJ. she's a baller. I ain't gonna lie. Sedona is a hooper. She's older too. She don't take her butt to the WNBA. She was already almost in the draft a few years ago before everything went down. And let me tell you, man, like that girl, Sedona Prince looked good. I just put her in the Discord about that. HBL looks comfortable on the court again. She sure does. She was just, I mean, just I was like, girl, you don't always have to shoot. Come in when I seen her come in and take this jumper in the mid. I was like, take that shot. Because if you ain't got it, you dip it down to Sedona. But that team is at the right speed for her, double nice. And then they got Taylor Bigby for my team, USC is over there. And the way that they wanted it for each other at the end of the game against with defense, rebounding, hustle, effort, the way that they were battling in a close game against North Carolina State, because Isaiah Jane brought him back. Isaiah was not playing. She was like, let me wake up. Let me get it together over here. And but the coach took out Samara James. Me and Seth were talking about that. Like, why did you take her out? But I don't know. Maybe there was a reason. Sometimes height does matter, because just having bigs or having someone in the game that a shorter guard has to shoot over. Not to say that they're just going to stop them or contain them. It makes it harder for a shooter to see the basket. Why didn't James start? I don't know. I think I didn't know she didn't, but I think I read somewhere, that she's coming back from, recovering. So that's why I felt like that game, I started to see the Isaiah James that I remember, because I have her in my draft pick, y'all, but I really didn't have Isaiah like first round. Don't shoot me. I didn't have her first round, y'all. I know I didn't. I can look right now, but I know I didn't have her first round. And there must have been something that I saw that wasn't enough for me. And it's crazy because I'm not the only one that has Spud higher in the draft than they do Isaiah James. And I'm doing Bud based on previous potential. So, but it all will wash out, come out in the wash pretty soon. It will all come out in the wash, because I would put Sedona. If Sedona was smart, she'd come out and play for the Fever. Nah, I had Isaiah James at the bottom of the second round. I had Harmony Turner higher than her. Lord have mercy, I done had Bree Hall higher than her, and I do not in the second round. I got Aubrey Griffin, Maddie West, Bell, Fagan, a lot of them. Sanaya, all second round. Talia Van Olive, and second round. I think Olivia Sellers, Barker, Tahina, Rory, Georgia Amore, Sonia Citron are my first round. And I like Georgia Amore. People don't necessarily believe in her, but I think she will. Oh, Political Ill, thank you. Let me make an announcement for that. It's true. Is it true? Unrivaled draft is tomorrow. I believe so, because I think tomorrow is the 20th. And I do remember marking in my brain that the 20th something takes place, because I think expansion is December. So I think so. I think Unrivaled draft is tomorrow. So this is going to be interesting. At least they got their coaches in place. I don't know what we doing. They got their coaches in place. I know. Let me ask you guys a question before I get out of here. And I'm gonna tell you what I think. Do you think that Angel Reese should play under Teresa Witherspoon for Unrivaled? And if you want to say why? Because I think she should play under Phil Handy. Now I've never watched him train bigs, but of course he trains professional NBA players. But I always watch him training guards and things like that. Oh man, political will. Yeah. Tell me about it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But let me see him. I think he got to do the route that Michael Cooper had to do back in my day when we played for the Just Say No Classic. Um, was a league that Rhonda Wyndham had in LA at USC. We played pro am and high school. High school players play high school players. I coached to them, and then I played on the next level, kind of like AU but pro am. It had to be pro am because it had to be where we're allowed to play against. Basically, we're like former college players, so or college players that are still in college, and Michael Cooper we were starting to edge towards needing a coach for the Sparks. Plus, he wanted to coach in the NBA as well. So he had to get some coaching experience somewhere. So he started there. That's why I think Handy might be starting at Unrivaled before he starts kind of venturing into the WNBA. But I don't because we never seen him do it except for as an assistant. But he has been an assistant for the Lakers, and for them not to hire him, I was kind of shocked. So maybe he didn't want anything to do with the organization at all. But I was like, why is he not one, the Spark coach, or two, the Lakers coach? Maybe it looks like they did the right thing with JJ. I agree. Reese should play for Handy. He is among the best workers. See, political Lil. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying I don't know. You know. You're right. That he doesn't have a choice. But I was just saying people want to see them two. You know, Teresa and Angel unite. I don't. I want her to be like with a Phil Handy. Yeah, so he doesn't want it. Well, do you think that MJ, I mean, the Sparks is not that's not a high pressure. But I heard that he was a little bit salty about that's why when JJ and them offered him an assistant, he was like, it's kind of like, okay, so you don't hire me for the head coaching job. Then the new head coach wants to bring me back. He was like, nah, nah. Handy has been fine with players. Lakers one was on some click. click, clickbait. Handy been fine with player development because it doesn't come with the pressure and scrutiny of being. I don't know. I'll try to find. I'll try to find what I heard from him in his words somehow. I got to look it up. But they say he was not. Maybe someone was speaking from him, for him, and what has said, and that ain't it. That ain't it. He wanted that job. Recent Teaspoon is a feel good story of the league. People are rooting for their collaborators. Absolutely, that's it. And I get it. You know what I mean? They cool. They can be cool off court, whatever that case may be. Political. I'm with you. It's just a feel good story, but that's not the best coach for her. I need her to get with Handy. Handy didn't like the instability of the coaching ranks at this time. He has been on record several times about that in the last 5 seasons. Right. I'm glad he walked away. I'm glad he walked away. That's how LA is. Everything in LA. We are called the city of champions. I mean, coaches turnover at USC all the time, men and women. Um, with the Lakers, well, the Clippers. I guess they're just now coming into the fold as being an LA team, but USC football, they don't play like that. USC basketball, same thing. Bill Handy could have been a head coach years ago. It was a personal decision by Handy not to be unless they were backing up the Brinks truck. Unless they were backing up the Brinks truck. Right on. But I mean, he's got so much hands on so many players and their development. I mean, I've watched Juju train with Jewel. I've seen her train with him by herself with Chelsea Gray. He's got some high schoolers. She's trained with him and DeMar DeRozan. Even HVL came down to train with Phil Handy recently, and I'd never seen that before. That was kind of cool. And then now look at her. She's probably gonna thank him. Louis, I'd like to see Kennedy and Camilla get the last 2 spots. Yeah, but political, they'll be overseas. right? You know that, right? They still be playing. They be like right in the middle of overseas in January, February, March. They be like right in the middle of all that. The last two spots, in Unrivaled, one of them is for Clark, and when she makes the decision, yeah, I'm sure that Clark's people will advise her against it. You think so? Yeah. I mean, maybe they want her to maybe she just needs just to get some rest, I guess. Just to get some rest because they think they're gonna make a deep run next year. Do we know the cities the teams will play out of? Right now, Miami. And then will the games be open to the public? Of course. Yeah. They play out of Miami, but they say it's like a traveling team. Like, let's say next year their home base will be Nashville or something. They could come to a city near you, like, but they'll be kind of like how it was during the pandemic. They all are housed there and play and no traveling. That cuts down on a lot of money too. That cuts down on a lot. It's just a couple months. So and I like the idea. Okay, kind of like the Big Three does that. I think I'm not sure if the Big Three travels. I remember I seen um the Big Three out here getting ready to play a game in Oakland. So I don't know. I don't know about the traveling thing. I definitely know that they shouldn't do that. That's too much. They needed to stay in one place. Yeah, mostly Miami, and then they'll pick another city that they'll work out of at another time. Political. Why do you think? Why do you think Clark's people will advise her not to play in Unrivaled? Risk of injury. Maybe people maybe exposing some of the weaknesses in her game, and people learn her a little bit, get used to. I don't know. Just throwing something out. Clark doesn't need to be an Unrivaled. It's a league for players who need their game more developed and better conditioning. Okay. She doesn't need more conditioning and more development. You don't think Clark needs more development? You do know she needs more development, right? I was thinking more like there's players that could, especially a lot of the players that didn't get that don't aren't like heavily branded or didn't come in with an NIL. That extra 250 is really good, really nice pay. Um, a quarter of probably what they make overseas and don't have to go overseas. Not necessarily. That league is set up for competitive gameplay. It was supposed to be the top 30 players in the dub, but I heard that, as you can see, I won't name any names to offend the innocent. That bringing them in, I was like, that's not the top 30. But hey, they tried. Look at the unrivaled roster. Which players are not ready for that league? How you think Kate Martin would do, MJ? You think she's ready for 3-on-3? I'm not being smart, I'm just asking. You think I picked on her because when I thought of her coming over, I felt like, how did she get a spot if it's supposed to be the top 30 players? The coach who invented 3-on-3 full court game called the game X-ray because it will expose. I didn't even know that. Obvious flaws, but also correct them. I didn't even know that, political ill, because that's what it does. I played 3-on-3 hoop it up. And it's, and boy, you need to have a motor, and you got to keep moving. Screen pass away, cut down. It's a lot. Down, up. Um, but it will expose you. I didn't know that. That's why they call it that. It does expose your flaws, and that's what I mean. Like, we know that Clark has flaws. So I was thinking that could help develop them. Kate Martin is solid, strong player, not the fastest, but plays good defense and can knock down the open shot. Okay. I know, but that's what I'm saying. No knock against Kate Martin, but I don't she can do all of those things, but she's not the top 30 in the league. That's why I said that. Ain't no training in Unrivaled. This is ball players being balling against ball players. Like we used to go to the park and just get down. I didn't know Unrivaled was designed for the players that were lacking for lack of better. No, 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 no. That's not what she meant. Political. I don't think that's what political. I don't think that's what she meant because it was designed to have the 30 best in the league. But when we couldn't go, get Asia or we couldn't get you know, Clark right off the back and things like that. There's certain players that have other commitments, or choose to take this time um, for whatever reason and not play in another league or even play overseas. They chose not to, and they were some of the top players. Clark could dominate in full court aspect, but it's the defense that would expose her. Right, right, something like that. Her defense would get exposed. Um, she really need to knock those threes down. She can pass easily. I mean, they're playing 3-quarter basketball, so there is going to be some movement and some transition. The goal was to get the 30 best, but there are a lot of good players on Unrivaled roster. Yeah, there are. There are. I was just saying it isn't the 30 best because some of them withheld. Some of the, Asia and Clark, for instance, are two of them that withheld, and there's just some players on there I think that aren't the 30 best. Maybe the very best will come in the next seasons on Unrivaled. Yeah, because I think Paige is set up to play. I don't know why I heard something like Paige was thinking about her a 6 year. I'm like, if you don't take yourself out of here and let these college girls play, go on somewhere. Like we don't this. I ain't even gonna say no other names. I felt like go on and go to the league, bro. Like quit staying. Like go to the league. Maybe their very best will come in the next season. Our standards are high around these parts. Political ill. Juju, you familiar with the Hall of Fame coach John B. McClendon, who wrote the book? I still have a copy from the 70s. I played it on one of our students. That's how we prepared for the season. No, no. I'm sorry. I usually be knowing some stuff like that you be talking about. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look him up and see if I looked at it and it just didn't know what I was reading. I read uh Pat Head Summons' book back in the late 90s. I liked it. I loved the book. I love a lot of the things that she said. Matter of fact, I probably would, as a coach, have used some of her philosophy and her concepts. Um, Definitely something I would go by. I'm trying to think. I read other basketball players documentaries that they wrote, but not really. Oh, there was. Oh, I did do a little something back in the day with John Wooden. His thought process and his philosophy was kind of cool too. That was really good. Which John McClendon know. How the teams will be balanced. Will coaches choose a player, but not know if they will actually be coaching the players they choose? I hear everyone's hopes for players to leave college, but I keep telling y'all these women live like queens in college and get paid more in college. Why would they leave early? It's something weird with how the teams and the coaches will be matched up, I think. No, there was actually I thought about doing something, but I would have to really understand it first. But I thought about doing something um on my podcast here because they actually broke it down. Like I found it and then it was talking about how they're gonna choose. But then I thought about you, MJ Lover. I was like, I need to get in the Discord with him and show him what I'm looking at to be able to explain that because it was the way they were matching them up players. It was crazy. I got it, and then all of a sudden it went off left, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to study this, like what they're saying. But it was kind of cool though. Like how it will be done. And I think there'll probably be some other people covering it. Um, unless the seniors and juniors are going to be paid better and treated the same better, it makes no sense for these players to leave. I get it from a fan's perspective, but I was in college 3 years, and I wish I would have been there for 6. Paige is a member of the Unrivaled, but she won't be able to play the first year. Correct. Correct. What about Bobby Knight? Did you like him as a coach? Believe it or not, I did. Believe it or not, I kind of did. I kind of did. That's crazy. You said that. I kind of liked him. I kind of I like Georgetown coach. Why can't I remember his name, y'all? Back in the day. I like Coach V. You're talking about men, so I'm more of a Linda Sharp, Pat Summit, Vivian Stringer, Dawn Staley. Trying to think of people that I would have liked to play for. Um, I think Van Chancellor was cool. I think I could play for him. I think their philosophy and concept. Oh, Joan Von Vicini. You guys may not know her. She was a Long Beach coach. I could have played for. And John Thompson, that's the name of it. Joan Von Vicini, and then she later went to Arizona. I like her. The concept of the team player selection is to make sure that the talent is spread out across all teams so you don't get a super team. Right. Right. So you don't get that's the concept. But I mean like this particular in the simplest thought process and form. Is it okay? You got these 6 coaches, we line them up. Here are all the players, kind of like how they do in the All-Star when Stewie and Asia. I'll take this, you take that. I want them. And then get your group. And then if you want to trade or swap, then talk about it like that. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Or do you look at stats, or do you use a computer to do it? Like, put all their stats in, and then to make it, go across the board. But that could look crazy because you got 6 players, and you're gonna need a point, a wing guard, and a center. You're gonna, you know what I mean, or a big that can move her feet and get with the program. Because I think they got BG in there. BG just gonna be walking around like this, like covering, like she's gonna get up and then come back. Like, what's that gonna look like? You might see BG taking threes. You know what I'm saying? Like, are we gonna wait for her to come down, set up, post, or are we going, to the hole? Is pulling a 3. Like, I pictured it more since it's not half court like I did with 3-on-3, that it's more pick them up and put them down, getting up and down the court quickly, to outscore one another, set his pick, screen away, pass and screen away. Kind of like what they did, at the Olympics. So, yeah. So male coaches. I mean, there's Dean Smith, Coach K. I like George Raveling when he was at USC. Don Wooden. I mean, I'm just saying like basketball. Like, basketball coaches used to stay, in their position for a long time. I like Tarkanian for UNLV, because I liked his concept of basketball. I also kind of like Paul Westhead's concept when he coached Hank Gathers and Bo at Loyola Marymount. It was no defense. Now I'm a defensive player. I like defensive rebounds. But if you like some fast, some Showtime kind of basketball, like defense out the window, lose to see who's going to outscore one another. That was that was Paul Westhead. That was his style of play. And when he came over from college coaching men, he coached Diana Taurasi at Phoenix Mercury, and he put that style of play in. They used to kick butt with that style, man, in the dub. Couldn't nobody keep up with them. Detroit could, but couldn't nobody keep up with that style of play. It was like run you out the gym, no defense. And Diana probably loved that. She loved that. So thank you guys. Thank you all for pulling up. I really appreciate it. I love the comments. I love our conversation. I'm gonna do this more often. I need to. So I gotta start laying some videos down, get my algorithm up, talk about my team. Pull up, come up, check out Test Talk Sports. This Saturday she will be covering. I hope I'm gonna ask her to, because she already said she would cover the USC Trojans against Notre Dame. I'll be at the game. I could probably stream a little bit of what it looks like in there and how the atmosphere is from my phone. Don't want my battery to die. But yeah, pull up probably 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. West Coast time for that matchup. It's gonna be great. Look a little on the way out. You said BG gonna have to run most of the 24 plays, sets involved constant motion, you picking, screening, etc. Well, it depends on how they fix the rules. We only had 4 seconds to clear to the backcourt, right? Because I think we did that a little bit, something like that in practice. And I remember that being a drill. Political, dang, you went deep in my archive in my brain. I think I did have a drill like that. That's crazy. You remember something like that. And we couldn't score. I remember we couldn't score until all my team was across the court. I remember that. So that was a good drill. But that's something that's, that'd be good. That'd be something she could work on. Like you were saying, developing her and getting her really, because she don't think she's in the best playing shape like she was, when years come. Yeah, Trojan Notre Dame game is going to be fire. I need Juju to get back doing Juju things, and I need the rest of the team to realize that she's been playing a half a step behind them, so that they, to slow her pace, to stay up with them. But when you are in these big games, that's when the pace is going to pick up, and it's going to pick up quick, and you got to pick up with it. That's why I see Heckle being in the game a lot more than TiVo, unless you slide TiVo over. She's got a lot to mess with, and she's gonna use the comment. If Hannah's out there killing us, we're gonna have to put a lot of we're gonna try a lot of different schemes on her. I'm not worried about that. But that game, chosen Notre Dame, it's going to be fire. So pull up Cessna Sports, weekend of hoops. And then I'll be back to commentate on that game, because I'll be there. And yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow morning, 6:00 for Check Ball. We Up, Cess Talk Sports with Juju and Cess. And then, of course, Wednesday, Timeout with Juju and Cess. I'm just excited. This is going to be a great week. I'm going to catch a game if there's any games on tonight, so I have something to talk about tomorrow. And then I want to catch Wednesday's matchup too. Thank you, Louie. I really appreciate that. Thank you all for joining. Click like on the way out. I really appreciate you guys for joining today. Have a good one. Hoops and coffee.